Galnet News Digest, 6th of November 3310. On the 29th of October 3310, we were alerted to the mysterious disappearance of treasure hunter Herman Colt. The mystery has been well and truly investigated, and we're sorry to say that Captain Morrigan's treasure has been claimed and is therefore no longer available to those who follow the trail. It's a curious tale. Let's follow the trail and see what you could have won. Herman Colt, a fabulous self-publicist, set off with a small expedition at the start of October to find the lost treasure of Captain Morrigan, a notorious pirate from the middle of the last century. Colt appears to have been enamoured with the legend of Morrigan and already had a small collection of Captain Morrigan artefacts aboard his fleet carrier. Famed for live blogging his every move, the publicity-hungry Colt went silent and remained silent. After a few weeks, his nearest and dearest, or at any rate his close colleague Natasha Moore, began to express concern for his safety. And so the hunt began. Thankfully, it wasn't too hard to follow the trail. Colt left a series of articles on listening posts that he presumably intended to come along and collect up later so he could make a podcast. The first of these was in the Frennis system, an old haunt of the pirate captain.
The name's Colt. Herman Colt. You've probably heard of me, explorer, pioneer and hunter of historical artifacts. The Benami locket on display in Anderton Global Museum? I was the one who recovered it. Kitty Gazelle's blaster, the one rumoured to have fired the first shot in the Alioth uprising? That's right. Me again. I follow stories into myths and bring them back to reality. The credits that come with such work aren't bad either. This time I'm taking some rookies on a simple little hunt. A good introduction to the career for them and a reward of great satisfaction from me, the treasure of Captain Morrigan. Oh, Morrigan, my muse, my light, born decades before me, lost to the galaxy when I was still a child, but your story inspired me to become the man I am today, to bend fate to my will, just as you did. I finally have your star map in my possession. It took years of chasing whispers down many dead ends, but now the key to unlocking the truth of your famous journey is revealed. I'll trace your vapor trail to the final known location of your hoard. What will it contain, my captain? I'm eager to find out for myself. My squadron consists of 4 hopefuls excited to be joining the renowned Herman Colt on another historic journey. Ahmed, Kovalchuk, Otero, and Shanks. Who knows? Maybe they'll make something of themselves one day. Let the hunt begin. My squadron has reached Siusu with no issues. The aspiring treasure hunters with me babble excitedly on comms now our journey is underway. It reminds me of my youth somehow. Educational class trips to some museum or historic location with teachers herding dozens of squawking children. The real ones were always better than the virtual. For now, my own squawkers are amusing enough while I wait for Morrigan's star map to calibrate our next location. Kovalchuk has a natural charisma and makes the others laugh. She at least shows promise. Shanks and Ahmed are more pedestrian, eager to follow instruction and hesitating to do anything without my order. Otero is, well, let's put it this way. Either he's so meek that his voice doesn't sustain the comms link, or so inexperienced that he doesn't know how to configure it. He keeps asking for confirmation on an order to return to our starting point. I haven't once suggested we turn around, so Otero must be tuned into a different channel. Siusu was where Captain Morrigan made her name, a daring raid on an industrial convoy carrying precious gemstones. Morrigan's small raiding party took on a security patrol, over double their number, and emerged victorious with a significant haul of loot. A quote from one of the haulage pilots states, She destroyed 24 ships, then positioned her craft nose to nose opposite me. I could see Morrigan smiling through a heavy scar across her jaw. She demanded our cargo and blew me a kiss as we jettisoned canisters worth millions of credits. Then the pirates were gone, leaving us surrounded by wreckage. I do wish I could have seen her crew in action. Where will you lead us next, Captain?
Turn back while you still have a chance. You were never invited to the dance. Trespassers never reached Marima.
We have arrived at our next destination. Otero is nowhere to be seen. Not visually, not on radar. The buffoon might have jumped to the wrong system. Perhaps he just chickened out of the hunt. Or, were I to attribute him with any one iota of cunning, he may have a different plan altogether. Shortly after we arrived, Ahmed sent a panicked message claiming someone had sent him a message with a warning to turn back. Not a request, not advice, a threat. As a fledgling treasure hunter, Ahmed doesn't understand that the job's highly competitive. There are only so many famous figures to plunder. It wouldn't be the first time I've been trailed by a rival looking to throw me off the scent. I have my suspicions that Otero joined us to acquire as much information as possible before breaking off to disrupt us. Perhaps he has designs on Captain Morrigan's star map. Well, he'd have to take it from my cold, dead ship. A shame this issue has distracted us from the importance of this system. Here is where Morrigan met her soulmate, Ntuli, at a wild pirate gathering. The legend says that Ntuli challenged Morrigan to a dancing contest. The two of them went song to song for several hours, long past the point that other revelers had given up or drunk themselves into a stupor. With both exhausted, Morrigan asked Ntuli what kept him in the contest. He replied that each song they shared represented a year they would spend together in love. Ntuli must have been quite the charmer, since from that day forward the pair were inseparable. The star map has been calibrated. We push onwards.
Turn back before you spoil the grave. Those killers broke my heart that day. The victim never left 95 setting.
Ahmed's ship has been destroyed. His Cobra was shot to pieces by the time we arrived, only a minute after he made the first jump. There's no sign of his assailant, no wakes, nothing. It couldn't have been Otero. His vessel didn't have the firepower to take down Ahmed so quickly, and I'd have found evidence of his jump. Someone else has to be tracking us. Ironic, really. This system is where Captain Morrigan's love, Ntuli, was ambushed and killed by the Kandira gang. Only 3 years after they met, so much for the romantic ideals of pirates. The killing was a targeted warning to Morrigan by the Kandira leader to stay out of their territory. Their response was a blood oath of vengeance by the heartbroken captain. Shanks claims he's received a garbled comms message telling him to turn back from this path, just like Otero and Ahmed before him. The boy's nervous, babbling about being next. He's even claiming that this expedition is cursed. Kovalchuk asked me to abandon the hunt, a request I refused. Now is not the time for nerves. If we're being hunted, it only proves we're on the correct path. My remaining squadron has been informed that I will blow them out of the sky myself if they attempt to jump anywhere but the star map's next destination. A harsh lesson, but one that every treasure hunter must learn. The more danger you're in, the closer you are to your quarry. I will not be intimidated by superstitions.
Turn away from my sweet embrace. Those killers died in beautiful ways. The last sculpture was in Tranua.
All 3 remaining ships arrived at this system. However, Shanks's ship is not responding to any comms, and it floats freely away from the nav beacon. A visual inspection shows his cockpit is empty. Only Kovalchuk and I remain. I know where we are. This location marked the end of Captain Morrigan's vendetta ride against those who killed her beloved. Over several years, she tracked down and murdered each of the Kandira pirates responsible for the death of Ntuli. Their final hours were both inventive and terrifying in every instance. Morrigan's focus on revenge was all-consuming, to the detriment of all other aspects of her life. This may sound strange, Morrigan, but I can relate. Your story has fueled me for so many years. I've researched every possible piece of information about your life. The credits I've spent on collecting any relic of your pirate career are beyond counting. Weapons, clothing, personal artifacts, maps, records of raids, private logs, authentic images, everything. Everything. There's a room in my apartment dedicated to your history, and I dream within it often. Do you now haunt me, Morrigan? Did I acquire so much of your life that I've summoned your soul to follow me on the trail to your final treasure, my obsession with you now reflected in a curse? If you can hear me, then know that I spit in the supernatural's gaze. Your eyes are long dead, and the last piece of your life will complete my collection. Your star map has finally deduced the location of your hidden riches. Watch as I take it for myself, you hellcat. The remnants of the great Captain Morrigan's life will decorate my own legend.
Turn back from my cursed soul, the only memory never sold. Shadows lurk in HIP 7233. If anyone's reading this, leave now, please. I'm Maya Kovalchuk. I was part of Herman Colt's expedition to find the treasure of Captain Morrigan. His last expedition, I guess. We'd followed a star map Colt had. The bastard threatened to destroy my ship if I didn't stick with him, even after the others were dead. He'd gone strange. By the time we got here, I mean. The closer we were to the treasure, the worse Colt got, ranting and raving about seeing the captain, kept daring her to appear. It was like something took hold of him, something dark. But when we reached this planet, there was another ship. I can't explain it properly, but geez, this thing was there, but not there. My scanners couldn't identify the stuttering energy signature. When we made visual contact, my canopy display must have caught interference, some kind of radiation maybe. The unknown ship was drenched in static. I couldn't focus on it. Every time I tried, these crazy distorted patterns would... Colt flew into a rage and boosted towards it, hardpoints deployed. The unknown ship took off, with Colt in pursuit. My God, the noises he made. I've never heard anything so angry. The comms channel peaked so hard I had to shut it off. For a second, it sounded like 2 voices screaming together in hatred. When I finally caught up, Colt's ship was a wreck. He'd floated out of the ship's ruined canopy, strapped to his chair. It was horrible. His eyes were open. Rage still twisted his face, even in death. Listen to me. Morrigan's treasure is attached to this beacon. I ain't touching it. Take it or don't take it, but I swear this whole voyage was cursed. I worry about what'll happen if you snatch the loot. If you've already taken it, then don't stick around to find out what happens next. Run.
For the record, Captain Morrigan's treasure consisted of 40 million credits, 4 paint jobs, and the Trickster Apple Suit Cosmetic. Well done to whoever managed to take it. The treasure chest is now empty.
And that's the end of the trail. Spooky.